Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel, and in today's video we're going to be telling you the most important mod for your P3 Volvo. This D5, but it will apply to all of the sort of generation engines from this era, all of the sort of D4s, D3s, all the 5-cylinder ones anyway, because it is a really useful little mod, and I think actually long term it will really help your Volvo last. So let's get straight to it. So we need to open the bonnet. Wow, that's a hell of a poo, isn't it? Mrs. DL's been driving this recently, and as you can see, it looks like he's been parking it under a tree. So I might have to speak to you about that. Anyway, so our mod, of course, today that we're talking about is the dipstick. So I've had so many messages the last few days. I don't know what, it's a weird way that Google works. In fact, it gives you random videos from my past, but this dipstick here is perhaps one of the best mods you can do on your Volvo. So for those of you who don't know, these cars don't come with a dipstick from factory. You have an electronic dipstick, which I can show you now, which you can access just by slotting your key in. Oh, it's in a driving position as well, this is weird. Pressing and holding the start stop button until you've got that, and then you just tap the read button and use the dial here to scroll through and get your oil level. There you go, engine oil level okay. So that's great, isn't it? But what happens if that sensor doesn't work, or if you're old-fashioned like me and you want a dipstick? Well, they're actually really easy to install and quite easy to get hold of. I will do my best to put some links in the description down below of where you can get these from, but essentially it's an XC90 dipstick, because the XC90s of this generation still gave you a dipstick because it was the older generation. They still use the same engine block for these twin turbo engines as they use for the single turbo engines, so you can essentially transplant the parts on. So I'm now going to try and do a bad job of showing you guys how it's attached. Okay, so you're now in the engine, and what we have here, this is the oil sensor wire. As you notice, it goes into the bottom of the block here, and that's my concern, because as we pan up, you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it because I can't see what you can see, but there's a bit of chafing on there, and these are prone to going. So this physical dipstick bolts in here. You can see it actually fits where there's already a dipstick in the car, but that's not accessible, called the technician's dipstick. Essentially what it does is it extends that with a long dipstick that feeds all the way through. So it bolts in just there. You can see the bolt next to the wiring loom, and you've got a little O-ring that goes on the end of this tube. It's all one piece, and that goes into where the technician's dipstick goes, and then it comes up, I'm doing this very badly, and rejoins us here. So it's quite simple to get in. All you need to do is get that bolt in, really, and get the technician's dipstick out. Now I managed to do it in the afternoon. It was during the first COVID lockdown actually, and all I needed was, I think it's a 10mm bolt, a 10mm spanner, and that was it. It was a really quick and easy job to do. But what this allows you to do is change your oil much more easily, as well as being able to tell your oil level nice and easy without having to turn the car on, etc. You can also check change the oil on your car. Now I use a oil extractor for my oil changes, because it's so easy. As you can see, we don't exactly have much space to work with here, so jacking the car up, we're on a slant anyway, isn't an ideal situation. I don't like paying for other people to do my oil when I can do it myself, so I bought an oil extractor. All you have to do is extract the oil through the dipstick, which you can now do now you've fitted the mod. Now what this means I can do is afford to do more oil changes, which in turn extends the life of the engine. There's this age-old myth that these long life or long intervals, service intervals, cause a lot more wear on the engine. I believe it, from my experience of what I've seen with other car brands as well. As a previous BMW owner, servicing was key to keeping your car going, and it's the case with these Volvos as well. Now 18,000 miles is a very long time, so I change my oil every between 7,500 to 9,000 miles. I can do 2 or 3 oil changes for the price of paying someone to do it, and it's dead easy to do. So I've no doubt this engine will last for a long time yet. It's got 116,000 I think at the moment, but I want to make this thing do at least another 100,000 miles. I think it will easily do it, and that's the plan. I'm going to hold on to this car for a long time, I think, because I don't see why not. I just need to get another Volvo, because I want to do a Volvo off-roading, because I think that would be cool. We've obviously got the Jeep over there, but I'd like to do off-roading in a Volvo. I just think that'd be cool, and it'll be nice for the channel as well. So where did I buy this kit from? I actually bought it on eBay. I just typed in Volvo P3 D5 dipstick kit, and it came straight up. Now I'm going to link the video, the installation video, because I give you the part numbers as well, because you can actually order them from a Volvo dealer, so that's quite a handy one as well. And for those of you that are perhaps familiar with the police spec versions of these cars, they have all these put in as standard from the factory. They include it because the police prefer to be able to just pull the dipstick out rather than try and go through the computers on there. So that was a good enough reason for me to put it in as well. So actually mine was, I think, from a police force in the UK that had an excess of Volvo dipstick kits, so they started selling a few off. Or it was a wholesaler that bought them at an auction or something like that. So this is technically a police spec one, but it's the same as you'd get from a dealer. And in the video, I've included the part numbers, which I've linked in the description. So yeah, a really useful mod to do, just for the peace of mind to know that you can just check your oil. I like to do sort of weekly or monthly checks under here, where I check all the fluids, and just being able to do it all in one go is nice. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I suppose about to pull the dipstick out and show you guys that it does actually go into the oil. There we go, look, probably still a bit gold, but probably want to be changing that soon. I've driven to the Arctic Circle on this oil, so yeah, probably need to change it soon. But that'll obviously be a future video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, as I said, and I'll see you next one. Cheers.